Today we explore The Alphabet and Algorithm, written in 2011 by Mario Carpo. Carpo is a historian and theorist of architecture who focuses on the relationship between media and technology, reproducibility, authorship, and architectural form. This book makes a radical claim: the digital revolution is not just a new tool for architects, it is a fundamental shift comparable to the invention of the printing. Carpo compares two eras, the age of alphabet and print. The age of the algorithm and digital code. And his central question is, what happens to architecture when repetition is no longer mechanical but computational? So Carpo begins with the Renaissance. The invention of printing transformed architecture in a profound way. Architectural treatises like those by Alberti and Palladio circulated standardized drawings. The printing press enabled identical reproduction, fixed proportions, stable models, authoritative originals. Architecture became tied to the idea of the identical copy. This led to the rise of typology, modular systems, proportion systems, and standardization. In other words, the alphabet produces repeatable units. Print produces identical repetition, and modern industrial architecture inherits this logic. Standard parts, mass production, and uniformity. Repetition equals efficiency. Then comes the digital turn. The couple argues that computation changes the logic of repetition. In digital systems, copies do not need to be identical. They can be parametric, variable, adaptive, mass customized. Instead of identical repetition, we get not standard seriality. This is a key shift. In mechanical reproduction, variation is expensive. In digital reproduction, variation is cheap. One file can generate infinite versions. The algorithm replaces the alphabet. Instead of the fixed types, we get rule-based differentiation. This explains the rise of parametricism, blob architecture, continuous surfaces, complex geometries. Digital architecture is not about curves, it is about variability. In print culture, authorship was stabilized. There was an original drawing, a master copy, and canonical models. But in the algorithmic culture, there may be not fixed original. The original is a script, a set of instructions, a generative logic. Architecture shifts from object to the process. This transforms the role of the architect. The architect becomes a rule maker, a system designer, and a coder of possibilities. The building becomes an output of a generative system. This is a profound epistemological shift. So Carpo connects the digital design to fabrication. In industrial modernism, standardization reduces the cost. In digital fabrication, complexity does not necessarily increase the cost. CNC milling, 3D printing, robotic assembly. These technologies enable economics with variation. For someone interested in entropy and architecture complexity, this is a critical. In mechanical logic, high entropy means inefficiency. In digital logic, high entropy is manageable. The algorithm absorbs the complexity. So Carpo makes a fascinating observation. Before the planning, architecture was closer to the craftsmanship. Every stone was slightly different. Drawings were interpreted. Variation was normal. Plain culture imposed standardization. Digital culture reintroduces variation, but through computation. It is not a return to the craft, it is a new kind of digital craft. Controlled differentiation. We are no longer bound by identical repetition, but variation is now rule-governed. For centuries, architecture was a science of laws. If a dome stood up, it was because the architect understood the geometry of the gravity. Every line on the blueprint was an intentional notation. But Mario Carpo argues that in a second digital turn, we are moving from science to search. In a big data world, the computer doesn't use a simple formula to find a solution. It uses a brute force. It learns millions of simulations, most of which fail until it finds the one that works. This creates a black box. As the input, you give the computer the constraints. For example, I need a bridge that spans 50 meters and uses minimal steels. And as the output, the computer spits out a complex, organic, skeletal form that no human would ever think to draw. In the gap, the architect knows the input and the outputs, but the logic in the middle, the why, is a hidden and unfoldable complexity of the algorithm. So Carpo calls this design beyond intelligence. We are using tools that are smarter than our own ability to explain them. So if the machine found a form, who is the author? The Carpo suggests that the Renaissance model of the heroic author, the lone genius with a pencil, is dying. It is being replaced by two new laws. The one is the programmer architect. You don't design the building, you design the code that generates the building. And the curator architect. You don't draw, you choose. The machine gives you 1,000 versions of the house, and your authorship lies in your aesthetic or ethical choice of which one to build. So just as the mid-century brutalism showed the low texture of the concrete, the current new era shows the low texture of the data as a computational brutalism. These designs doesn't look human because they aren't. They are the visual manifestation of the machine thinking through billions of pixels and the data points. So authorship used to be about control, but today Carpo suggests it is about agency. We are learning to collaborate with a partner, the algorithm, that we don't fully understand, but whose power we can no longer ignore. So Carpo's argument is not just historical. It forces us to reconsider what is originality, what is authorship, what is a type, what is a repetition, what is complexity. If algorithms govern form, then designs shift form, drawings forms to designing systems of the form. This is not just stylistic, it is ontological. Architecture becomes information before material. The digital file precedes construction. The algorithm precedes the object. So Carpo's thesis can be summarized as: alphabet is going to be identical repetition, standardization, fixed types, original copies, and mechanical logic, versus algorithm is variable repetition, mass customization, parametric systems, generative code, and computational logic. The digital age doesn't eliminate the repetition, it transforms repetition into differentiation. For architects working in computational design, this book is fundamental. It reminds us technology doesn't simply change how we build, it changes how we think. Thank you for watching and hope this summary helps you, and you will have the opportunity to read the actual text and learn more about it. And still, we're just halfway up the ladder of the knowledge of all of the architecture, art, and design. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below.